Hey, what's up, guys? I meant to do a video and I accidentally went live, so we're gonna go ahead and go live with this. I guess I will try to do my best without taking any notes. Wanted to see how many hits I'd get on a video. So what I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna jump off real quick. I'm just gonna jump off real quick and make the video instead of going live and see how this goes. Well, we've already got 3 guys in, so I'll do a video. I'll do a video later this evening. I meant to do a video and accidentally. I've been going live so much lately. I hit the live button and went live. So we'll go from there. What I wanted to go over was last night's game. Really tough to watch. No matter what I mean, we all know we had a lot of guys that didn't play. A lot of starters. Ezekiel Elliott, Dak. The offensive line were thin already. Hey, what's up, fan 421? How you doing, brother? Hey, what's up, Chaz? How you guys doing? So I wanted to go over a few things real quick, especially like certain positions where we played horrible, certain positions where it's kind of well-rounded play, but nobody stood out, which was kind of like tight end. I actually still think Rico Gather stood out at tight end. I think he had the least amount of snaps of all the tight ends, and he led the whole team in receptions. I didn't realize he had five receptions. I did the game live last night. That's another thing on my list there, fan 421, is what are we going to do at backup quarterback? Hey, Grady Dawson, how you doing, brother? My thing at backup quarterback, and I will go over it a little better and more in depth. I actually liked Cooper Rush except for last night, and I think the complete offense looked horrible last night, and I think we had no one out there on offense that was capable of doing anything. Our tight ends, we didn't block well. We didn't give the quarterbacks time. We didn't. So I think Teddy's going to be out there, but I think he's going to be looking to start. The only way I think we're going to get Teddy signed is if we go into week 1 and no one signed him at all, and he doesn't think. The thing is, with Teddy Bridgewater, he knows he will not start at Dallas. I think he would like to go somewhere where there's a weaker roster as far as starting quarterback. So a weaker roster at starting quarterback would give him Teddy Bridgewater a chance to start maybe week 3. If the team's not playing well. Teddy Bridgewater, I think, is capable of starting for a lot of teams, so I think he's going to look to do that first. Would he be nice? That would completely solve our problems of backup quarterback. I think Teddy Bridgewater would be perfect. He's kind of similar to Dak. We just got to work on Cooper Rush's accuracy. If you look at what Cooper Rush has done, his stats, the only thing he did wrong, and I know it's really big, he had those 2 interceptions, and he was inaccurate a couple times. But that I think comes from, other than the Cole Beasley pass, I think a lot of that comes from just he saw that the pass rush was getting in pretty quick, and that makes you jittery, especially as a young quarterback. So we'll see. I'm gonna go and start off the video, kind of following up on what I had a video yesterday. And anyways, I appreciate you guys liking and subscribing to the videos. If you got Stevie Mac, I'm gonna go look for that crunk or what's it called? Your rum. You were. I'll look it up from the live stream, but cranking. I'm gonna go look for that today. I got it before you typed it in, brother. Yeah, hey, right there, James. You hit the nail on the head. Our offense looked horrible because every time a play came in, I don't think the play fit the situation. I think our play calling was horrible. We would be 3rd and 9, and you would see whichever quarterback was in, either one of them, Rush or White, they would both drop back and immediately look to the check down. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Is the pass rush getting in that quick? Yeah, they're saying what they're saying is he left the locker room a little quick. That's all. He's got mental issues. He's got, and that's what they're saying. The reason he smokes for, they're saying he wants to smoke because he has mental issues. It relaxes him. He gets really stressed out. He gets really intense, and I think he like doesn't like being around people. Uh, yeah, no big deal, James. What the situation is, when the game was over, he left the locker room. He didn't. You're supposed to sit back and give the media some time. Dude went in the locker room, took his shower, and got the hell out of there and left. He probably was pissed. He probably didn't like the way the offense looked. The defensive line played outstanding. Our linebacker core is not there yet. The backup linebackers played amazing. Joe Thomas is one of the players that really stood out last night. Yeah. The X factor. It's just because he left the locker room a little early. Actually not a little early. He got dressed and was gone. He went home so damn quick. He didn't stick around and answer questions. And yeah, Lance Lenore looked like garbage. But I'm gonna go with the video real quick. I'll get back to the chat box in a second. What I wanted to go over was they say there was some winners and there was some losers last night, and I want to go over the guys that played well and the guys that did not play well. Five winners. First, first off, as you guys know, Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott. The offense looked horrible because we really didn't have any of our elite offensive players in there. That's kind of expected. I expected them to look better than that, but not look as bad as they did. But the number one winner last night was Randy Gregory. He did look amazing last night. He was quick. He got off the ball quick. He got in the backfield quick. I got a frozen computer here. I'm going to try to reset it. Okay, there we go, guys. I got this Blogging the Boys page on, and it's got so many pop-ups. It gives my my computer that's a little older some trouble. So not sure what's going on in the chat box right now. But anyways, I'm going to go forward with the video. Randy Gregory was probably our biggest highlight last night. He played well. He didn't play very long, but he got in there. He looked quick. He had a sack. He almost had another sack on a screenplay. He had a tackle for a loss. So Randy Gregory looked good. Another winner, and this is coming off Blogging the Boys. Another winner, they say, is Earl Thomas. They're saying Earl Thomas was a big winner last night because our safeties and our secondary looked horrible. It wasn't particularly our secondary. Some of the corners looked okay, but as you guys know, they had two long runs, and on both of those long runs, our safeties took horrible angles to the tackle. No, I didn't see Noah Brown last night. I didn't see LVE. LVE was still injured. As you guys know, Sean Lee didn't play. So even in our secondary, especially for the slot receivers and stuff like that, we weren't there at all. Our corners were there, and they played a little more than they should have, and stuff like that. So as they're saying, last night so far the big winners were Randy Gregory and Earl Thomas. And Earl Thomas, I expect us to be knocking on his door this week. I expect a bunch of conversation this week about Earl Thomas. I think Chris Richard is going to go, if he has to, he's going to go around Jason Garrett. He's going to go straight to Stephen Smith. He's going to sit down with Stephen Smith and Jerry Jones. This is what I would do. I don't care if I have a boss in the defensive coordinator and I have another boss as the head coach. I'm going to talk to them and I'm say, look, I'm going to talk to the boss man. This is what I want, and I'm going to get it. You can go with me, or you can stay here. But I don't see Keith Richard sitting around and letting this secondary look the way it did and not do it. His name is on this. You got to imagine, let's say if you run a portion of a company, and let's say you run the printing department. I'm just making it simple. You run an organization. Well, let's say you run the defense. You run the defense on a Yeah, Stephen Jones. That's what I said, right? Did I say something different? I get tied up on watching this and I kind of mess up names, but Stephen Jones, also Jerry Jones, but I expect Keith Richard to go to those guys and say, look, man, we need Earl Thomas in here now because my name is on this defense, and if it looks like garbage, it hurts you. It's gonna hurt Keith Richard. It's gonna make him look horrible if this defense is not together. So. Uh, yeah, that's who exactly. That he needs to get he needs to get McClay involved, and I would sit down with them guys and say, look, do it now, or I'm not putting my name on this damn defense. It's not worthy. That guy is a good coach. He's an outstanding coach. He's to me the best secondary coach in in the league, and he probably needs to be promoted. We'll discuss that later, but he's got to stand up. As you guys saw, he was on a tear last night. He tore into that secondary's ass. And bro, we have not seen that since the days of Jimmy Johnson. That was the last time we've seen that. That's been a while that I can recall. The last time I recall anyone, I don't know if you guys saw it. There might be some footage out there. I wanted to actually to Google that or go on YouTube and try to pull it up and just put Keith Richard and then search for the last 24 hours because I could guarantee you somebody's posted that. He went off on that damn secondary. So I see him going to management and getting something done, or saying, hey, I'm not responsible for what's about to happen. I can't do my job if I don't have the right tools. I can't defend that end zone if I don't have the right fucking people to do it. I can't do it. And them as thin as they are at safety, it's not going to happen. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I'll agree on part of that fisheye fool. It's the coaches. It's the coaches, but it's well as lack of players. We there's a few players we need, and they're just trying to get by. We have 14 million in cap space. The Bengals just had to cut that George Agaye, the guys that they cut last a few days ago, and we didn't even go after the guy. We didn't check on it. We didn't do anything. So for me, I'm not understanding why they're not at least looking into getting these guys. Any news on Gregory? What do you mean by Gregory? His yeah, I do too, bro. I'm glad Keith Richard got in there. Chris Richard got in their ass. I've been saying Keith Richard. I'm horrible with first names. I'm a last name kind of type guy. Yeah, I mean, but they didn't make any calls. He could have been okay. I think they could have got Georgia Gaia in. They passed on him. I know. Des Bryant passed on the Browns. He was offered. He was offered right at $5 million, a little over $5 million, and he passed on it. So there's a lot of this Cowboys. I guess Cowboys. Shit, confidence or whatever you want to call it, that they think, hey, he would have been an asset to us. He would have got us depth, even if we went later and still went after Earl Thomas. But we've got to make that move. Yeah, Dez passed on the Ravens. Dez passed on the Browns. The Browns was a legit offer, though. The thing is, I think he wants to be somewhere where there's a better quarterback. He's got to be somewhere where there's a dominant type veteran quarterback that can tell him, hey man, shut the hell up, I've been here, and you're not running this huddle. And he'll do his job. Dez will catch the ball. Dez will go up and get it if he's got a veteran quarterback that can put him in his place and throw him the ball correctly. And the type offense where Dez could get the ball, seven to nine targets a game, something like that. Let's see. That's a rumor. What's that? I missed one, Maury. That's a rumor. Which one? About the Dez's contract. Yeah, somewhat, but I can assure you that the Browns made an offer to him. And another thing with the Browns is the fact that they're kind of deep at receiver already, so the targets to Dez will probably be limited, and so it kind of. The Browns aren't a good fit for him. So, Yeah, Lenore's probably gone. I'll go on, so I'll go back real quick. So the first winner they're saying is Randy Gregory. The second winner from last night was Earl Thomas. Because of the situation, they took Huff. Speaking of Lenore, Huff probably needs to be cut before Lenore. If you guys were watching number 20 last night, Huff Huff whiffed. I'll call him Huff or Whiff or whichever one you want to call him. That dude whiffed on some tackles. He took horrible angles, and he gave up 2 touchdowns last night that should have been, 10, 10-yard carries. A 10-yard carry is a 10-yard carry, but that is completely different than a 35 or 40-yard reception, which is what it in, or no, it wasn't a reception. It was a run from the line of scrimmage. But Huff played horrible, man. That guy, he choked at safety. He took bad angles, and that's why they're saying here the winner last night was Earl Thomas as far as safety goes, because he's going to have a job. And if the Cowboys don't go get him, they're playing with fire. They're going to really piss a lot of people off. Two things to me this year: if they don't get Rico Gathers in the game more and earlier. He led our team in receptions. He had 5 receptions. So I don't understand. Huff was like the wolf huffing and couldn't. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one, because it's true. Dude, he looked horrible. If you look at him, he didn't even get close to making the tackle. He came in flying towards the line of scrimmage like he was going to do something, and then flew in 2 feet behind the running back, and like didn't even get close to making the tackle. Running back took it to the house, and it happened twice. So we can't have that. That's going to turn every 8-10 yard carry that we have coming against us this year. It's going to turn it into a 25-30 yard carry. Hey, what's up, Karen? How you doing, girl? Welcome to the page. I was supposed to do a video, but like I said, I went live on accident, so I'm not sure how this YouTube stuff works. I'm gonna start doing more videos, especially when I get over to Afghanistan. I can show footage, and I'll have a TV and stuff like that. So the third winner from last night, besides was Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas, linebacker, played outstanding. He played outstanding on special teams. He played outstanding on the field when he lined up at linebacker. Yeah, we actually won the game as far as yards go. We had more yards. That's what I'm saying, guys. We had 8 turnovers to 0. We didn't get any turnovers, and that was because we pulled all of our defensive linemen early. We didn't play much of it. Tyrone Crawford looked good. You guys imagine, man, if we can rotate those guys in. David Irving, Tyrone Crawford, David Irving and Tyrone Crawford at the 1 and the 3, and then you got Randy Gregory and DeMarcus Lawrence on the ends. Guys, that's going to be sick. That's got to be, to me, the best defensive line in the NFL, and that's no joke. I'm not sure the way Randy Gregory played last night, the way Tyrone Crawford played at the 3. He really played well. He got explosive. He was in the backfield. He pushed the guard that was blocking him. He pushed the guard that was blocking him back into the quarterback a few times. Yeah, and Charlton and Taco Charlton rotating in. Dorrance Armstrong. Those guys all rotating. Charlton rotating in and Dorrance rotating in at defensive tackle. We're really going to change the game when we throw that in there. So we had 8 turnovers last night. It's unacceptable. I agree with you, X Factor. But all of this, I'm hoping will change. When you sit down and actually look at it and look at the stats, we won the game as far as yards and first downs and all of that. We won third down. We played better on third down than they did. We just had the interceptions. We had the pick 6. We had the fumbles. We had everything and those fumbles. When you fumble a punt, I mean that's pretty much almost a pick 6, and we had 2 of those, and one of them was a fumble, a muff 6, I guess you could call it, a muff 6. I never heard that term before, but that's what it was. Lance Lenore just doesn't need to be back there. I think the first one, You know, when him and Byron Jones bumped into each other and the ball got loose, I think that made him nervous. And when he went to get the second one, he wanted to make a play, and he tried too hard to make a play. It kind of put him in a bad situation. He knows he's on the bubble. He said, "I got to make a play." I fumbled the last one, and it caused him to think outside the box. You know, get a little aggressive, and he made a mistake again. Yeah, Switzer's on the Steelers now, man, and Jahard Ward. Uh, yeah, I don't understand that at all. I really like Switzer. I think we didn't give him a chance. So, yeah, I'm hungover after watching last night's game, too. That's why I was trying to do a video. So, anyways, we got the 3 winners right now. Number 1 winner was Randy Gregory from last night. Earl Thomas is a winner because he just became more valuable. We're probably going to have to pay more for him now. Joe Thomas also played extremely well last night. Jordan Lewis looked good as a slot corner. He played very well. I recall like 3 tackles where he allowed the receiver to catch the ball, but made the tackle on 3rd down short of the goal line, or short of the 1st down. And so when he makes that tackle and jumps up with that, he does the 4th down sign. Hey, you know Jordan Lewis, he's happy with what he got away with. He let the receiver make the catch. He made the tackle, and he looked good. So Jordan Lewis was another guy that looked good. And losers from last night, that was only 4. What was the 5th one? There was another guy that Joe Thomas, Earl Thomas. Oh, and and the bloggers have us listed, the Cowboy fans listed as winners as well. They're saying we won last night because everyone wants Earl Thomas. You know, 80% of the Cowboy fans probably want this trade to go through, and maybe we're winners last night because I think the Cowboys are in a corner. They need to make this happen. They're kind of backed into the corner. They have to do something. We're weak at safety. The problem is we might have to pay a little more for him. We might have to pay Seattle what they want. I think it's worth it. Let's don't blow this season. Let's don't make the mistake of letting this season get away from us, early. And we're 3 or 4 games into the season, and we're 2-2 or 1-2, or something like that. We need to get this done now, and do it before the season's over. If we do the Earl Thomas thing and get it done, and we give up a 2nd round and a player or a Mike White or one of our tight ends, and we don't win the Super Bowl, let's say we go 10-6 and we don't make the playoffs, or we go 10-6, we make the playoffs. But if we have Earl Thomas, I think most of us are happy. We did not happy, but at least we know the coaching staff tried. General management tried and did their best. That's the way I feel. If we don't win the Super Bowl and we don't get Earl Thomas, and Rico Gathers doesn't play, or he sits the bench, or they cut him or whatever, and we play horrible, we're going to say because the coaching staff jerked it all up. They didn't listen to the fans. All of us understand that's what needs to be done. So the other winners were the Joe Thomas. The Cowboy fans were winners because we're going to get Earl Thomas now, is what the bloggers are saying. Blogging the boys. Earl Thomas also was a winner, and Randy Gregory and Joe Thomas played well. And Jordan Lewis. Those are the 5 winners. So the losers last night. Let's go into the negative parts. The losers last night were Lance Lenore. As you guys know, he didn't play well. He was on the bubble. I think he was on the positive side of the bubble. I think he really had a roster spot pretty much locked up until last night. And what I don't understand is, if you guys were on the live stream last night, what I don't understand is why they kept him in at punt return. And the only thing I can imagine is they've already got that position locked. I guess they want to use Tavon Austin, but they don't want to get him hurt, so they're going to wait till the regular season. I'm hoping in Game 4 we can see our punt returner, whoever's going to be back there, at least. I don't give a shit to see Tavon Austin return some punts. At least put him back there and just let him make some fair catches. Get some rotations at catching the punt. That's the hardest part, fielding the punt. If you got to chase it down, if you've got to move, put him back there, tell him, look, don't return shit. Just jump back there, field the punt, and call fair catch. Call fair catch and field the punt, and get some practice at being out there. Uh, it makes no sense, the special teams coach not putting our punt returner back there at all. Yeah, I believe in that a little bit as well. I think we fucked up in 2016 when we sat those games against, that last game against Philadelphia. Remember, Tony Romo came in and threw his last touchdown pass, and uh, we lost that game, the last game against Philadelphia. Cooper Rush played quite a bit, and we didn't play to win. And then we had a week off. Dak Prescott didn't play, and he came in rusty. And we were rusty against the Packers until the second half. I like playing our guys to win as well, even if it's preseason. But we've got to also play it right and keep guys from getting injured. So it's a fine line to play. Let's see where we at. Rick, Crunk, if Lenore is our punt returner open today, we can visit Golden State. Yeah, I understand, bro. I think Tavon Austin's going to be the one returning punts. That's why they kept Lenore in there. I think if they were trying to use him as our real punt returner, it's obvious he's lost that job, so they would have changed him out in the second half. They wouldn't have used him anymore. So the fact they left him in there, I think they're like, just let him stay in there. Punt return's not important right now. This is preseason. We have our punt return. Kind of like Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott's not playing running back because we know he's our starter. Why put him in and get him? All right, guys, I had a phone call come in. I apologize. We're back live now, or should be. Yeah, I gotta jump off here pretty quick and make the phone call. My car is in the shop, and again, so I gotta get a hold of the shop and get my car, see what's going on. Steven, Noah Brown is probably the guy that's going to slide into the spot that Lenore lost last night. The problem with him is, he can't. I don't see him as a punt returner. So hopefully that'll weed itself out. The second loser last night, beside Lance Lenore, we don't need to discuss Lance Lenore because you guys know what happened. The second loser last night was the backup quarterbacks, both Cooper Rush and Mike White. For myself, more Cooper Rush, because I think Cooper Rush had the backup position. What's up, buddy Jay? How you doing, bro? I think Cooper Rush had the backup position locked until last night. I think he's played well. I know they brought Mike White in, and I know so I think Cooper Rush played well, other than the interceptions, and he was a little inconsistent last night. But the games prior, the other games he's played, he did fairly well. He had 7 touchdowns and no interception till last night. He had 2 interceptions last night. So to me, he's still 7-2. He has a good completion ratio. Last night he hurt that a little bit, but that's just the way it goes. You have bad games, and I think last night he wasn't set up to have a good game. We didn't have the people in there at all to help him. So another loser. Anybody that upsets Chris Richard last night was a loser, and it was so good to see somebody get fired up on that sideline and get in somebody's ass. And he pulled those guys together, and I know he was directing it at a few players, such as Huff. Huff played horrible, man. I mean, as far as the run game, that dude is garbage back there, and we're going to continue to look. The only good thing about Huff that I did like seeing last night, if you guys watched the live stream, the only thing I liked was it got our offense back on the field when he missed those tackles. I didn't give a shit to see our defense. I think our defense is set. Other than safety, we know what's going on defense. We know what our defensive line is going to do. We know what our safeties are going to, our secondary, our linebackers are going to do. We know what that setup is. We're good with our defensive line and our linebackers. We're good with our corners. We have one frickin' spot on defense, and we would probably have one of the best defenses in the league, and that's safety. We need to get the damn guy in here. We don't need to worry about defense. Our defense was solid when our starters were in there, and they will be. Once they got the lower level linebackers in there and the lower level secondary guys in there, we kind of fell apart. and you know, they still only had 209 yards total offense. The Cardinals did. So anyone that pisses Keith Richard off was a loser last night as well. Actually, I got the video right here. Did you guys see the video of Keith Richard? I'm gonna play it real quick. If you guys didn't see it, let me load this. I didn't realize it was here. It's right here on the page that I'm kind of cheating off of. I got some cheat notes here. Let's see, it'll probably take a second or two to load. But Keith Richard went off on these dudes last night. He was pissed, and it was good to see. It's the first time I think we've seen it since Jimmy Johnson has been on the sideline. And actually, the other time that I seen it was when Troy Aikman was on the sideline, and Troy Aikman went the hell off on the coaching staff because the coaching staff it was not doing their job, and they weren't saying shit to, and I'm frozen now. Boy, these little pads. Twitter is full screen. Okay, that's fine. I'm fine with that. Maybe I have to be a I have to have a Twitter account, I think, to see this. But you guys can look it up. It's obviously on the internet because it's here on Twitter. If you guys want to look up, Chris Richard going off on the defense, he went off severely. Makes me proud to be a Cowboy fan with all the other crap going on, and the hand clapping and Jason Garrett clapping. You know, when they had the turnovers last night, he's clapping and saying, "Come on, guys, get off the field. Come on, guys, just get off the field. Just get off the field." Dude, get in somebody's ass, man. Come on, bro. I'm tired of it. So, one more loser was ball security. You guys know we lost the turnover battle 8-0. That will probably be preseason or regular season. That, I guarantee you, will be the game of the year for the lopsided turnover thing there. And that's about it, guys. I like I said, I was going to do a video so I could check and see. I haven't done a video in like a week and a half. I've been doing all live shows. So I'm going to jump over and do a video tomorrow or excuse me, later this afternoon. And I'll post that. So please, guys, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so that you guys will get notified when I post the videos. And I'll try to keep doing live streams if you guys like it. I enjoy talking to you guys. I enjoy seeing Fan 421 and Mac, Stevie Mac, Rick. Thanks for joining in, Buddy Johnson. Had a good time last night. Stephen Willie Beeman, I know he's not on here, but he's always a good guy to chat with, and I appreciate the time, guys. Gonna jump off now. We got to go get Earl Thomas. Keith Richard is pissed. He has a right to be pissed. He should be pissed with the whole organization. I'm pissed with the whole organization. So if the organization don't get this crap together, the season starts soon, and we're going to be 1-2 or 1-3, and then shuffling around and trying to make it happen at the last minute when we need to make it happen now. So it's obvious we don't have the solution at safety right now. We need to go get it. So thanks, guys. Y'all take care. And yes, Keith Richard for coach, because I'm tired of that damn Jason Garrett. Garrett the Carrot can go.